Hi everyone, this is a review on a 240 LED amber and white emergency strobe, hazard strobe, warning strobe, whatever you'd like to call it. It is sold by several companies: Xprite, ZoneTech, IMax, HQRP. I'm sure these are all just fictitious company names when in actuality this warning light is probably made by only one manufacturer, but being marketed under different names. So let's get started. I've already removed the protective plastic coating that it came with. As you can see, the LEDs are protected by a clear hard plastic covering. There are 240 amber and white high-intensity LEDs in the fixture. These blue caps that you see protect your vehicle's paint finish from the magnetic base. When you remove the blue caps, you can see the 5 rare earth magnets underneath them. These caps easily came off, probably too easy. Hope it's not a problem. And this is a side view, close-up of the LEDs. You can also see all the resistors. It's supposed to have an all watertight, water-sealed construction. This is a 12-volt DC strobe. This is the plug that will plug into a standard cigarette lighter or power plug. These are the power and strobe cycle switches. If you remove the end cap, is a fuse. This will help to protect the strobe or the electrical system if there's a power surge, short circuit, or overload. So I have the strobe plugged in, and I'm going to go through the different modes right now. This is the upper button is the power button. Right now it's on, off. If you notice, even though the power is on, the strobe is not on. That allows you to cycle. This bottom button allows you to cycle through all the different strobing patterns. It will remember the last pattern you left it on, so that way when you power it up, it retains that the last pattern that you left it at. So right now I left it at on the off position. If I cycle it on the first click, we get the left and right strobe pattern. As you can see, it's alternating left side, right side. Go through the next setting. We have a front and back. So we're going from front to back on the strobe. The next pattern is a clockwise rotation. As you can see, it's going completely clockwise. And if you click it again, the next pattern is a counterclockwise rotation. Next pattern. This pattern strobes all lights a few times, then alternates between left side and right side. And actually I think this is the most effective pattern because it's not symmetrical. And the next click. All the LEDs flash in the pattern that you can see here. And the next click is all on constantly. And the final click is off. And as I had stated previously, whatever setting we leave it on, when the power is turned off, so let's leave it on a left-right pattern. When I shut the power off, turn it back on, it retains that same pattern that was left when we turned it off. Let's try that with a different pattern. We're going to leave it as all lights on, turn it off, turn it back on, all lights on. If we disconnect the power, plug it back in, it also retains the same pattern that we last left before we shut it off or unplugged it. So let's go see how it looks from a distance. So here I have the strobe mounted and running. It's overcast today, so you can see how it looks in the daylight. And we are going to go back quite a distance and see how it looks from a distance. So we've moved back quite a distance. We are back considerably farther now. Sorry for the shaky camera. And I'm going to pan out. And it's hard to tell, but in actuality you can still see the strobe fairly brightly, even though we are in the daytime.
In actuality, the strobe is a bit brighter than what the camera is picking up to be.
I was debating on whether to get the all amber or all white light, LED light, but I decided to go with the mixed, and I'm glad I did. Although the amber is visible, that white really pierces, and it makes that strobe extremely noticeable, even at a fairly long distance.
Worth mentioning is that this strobe was not expensive. It was only about $35. So, for the money, I thought it was a very good deal.
As you can see, the cord is fairly long enough. It's sufficient to run through the interior of the truck and allow the strobe to be mounted to the center of the roof. Would it be nicer to have a longer cord? Probably, but it's sufficient. So here we are at a different location. Of course, I had to pick when it's snowing. We're right in front of the truck right now, and I'm going to move back a little bit farther in a minute. Okay, now we're farther back. I'm going to pan out so you can see how far we are. And I'll go back even further in a second. Okay, we're much farther back. Sorry, it's a little foggy, but it's the lens. It's about 2 degrees above zero right now and snowing. But this is how it looks at a distance. I'm going to pull back.
At this distance, the strobe is definitely visible. I'm sure it's more visible than the video is showing it to be. The only complaint I have are those blue caps covering the magnets that you saw at the beginning of the video. They kept falling off, easily falling off. I ended up using silicone to secure them permanently. And that concludes my video on the 240 white and amber LED strobe. For $35, you can't beat the price. I give it a positive review. Thanks for watching.